We welcome in Draymond Green back to the show. Draymond, thanks again for taking the time after a big victory. And Tim Legler and I, Stephen A. Smith and I, just moments ago, we were just raving about Andrew Wiggins. I just wonder, from your vantage point, what this former number one, who's been a lot of things, right? And people have talked about what he wasn't, and people were waiting for him to become whatever they thought he wasn't. What was he tonight, Draymond?
He was absolutely incredible, and he's been that way this entire playoff run. He's been guarding the other team's best wing player, and he's giving it to us on the offensive end as well. You're talking a guy who never had more than 11 rebounds in the game. He gets 16 rebounds in one game and then follows that up with 13 the next game. He's stepping up to the challenge, and it's huge because we need it right now.
And I'm always interested, Draymond, in the guy who comes out and you're picked one, and maybe you go to a spot where you can be a superstar, but does it really add up to something, right? Are you part of a winning team? Well, oftentimes, no, because you're not on a great team. Well, now he's part of a great team. But learning to become not the best guy on that team, I imagine that has to be a process. And I just wonder, over the course of his time with you, how you've seen him grow comfortably into his role there.
He's continued to grow. I think, when you look back at the last 2 years that we had, he came here in the middle of our worst year that we've had since I've been here, the worst year for this organization in a long time, if not the worst. And, he kept getting better. And then we came into last year, he continued to get better. He settled into his role. And this year, he went even more. Defensively, he's taking on that challenge every game. He's moving the ball. He's cutting without the ball. He's offensive rebounding. It's been absolutely huge. And you can run the tapes back from my interviews. I've always said no one ever talks about organizations. It's always the player's fault. Every time a player doesn't pan out, it's always the player's fault. He's showing that it wasn't him, and it's huge for us, and we need that for one more win.
I have a podcast, as you have a podcast, and on mine last week, we were talking, Draymond, about something I find really interesting when it comes to your league. I feel like there's so many people out there that don't really root for a team or root for a player. It's like they'd rather root against players rather than root for them. That's kind of an odd phenomenon, and you've dealt with that. You've dealt with the pointed criticisms and the noise that comes with being on this stage. And I just wonder, over the course of this series, personally, how you've tried to take that noise and channel it, how you've tried to block it out as best you, like what has it been like for you personally in this series with all of the noise that exists out there these days?
Like you said, you try to channel it and use it in the right way. I think I've had a couple games or a game where I didn't use it the right way. And, tonight, I think I used it better. So it's going to be important, like I said, to do that for one more game. Fans are going to do what they do. I think,
sure,
a lot of it is also due to the way the media acts in today's day and age. I think that's a huge part of it as well. It's all a trickle-down effect. But I think Boston, they're called Title Town for a reason. Those fans are involved. They're loud, sometimes obnoxious, but, they've helped their team win 17 titles. And so you got to respect it. They're going to do what they do, but it's important that we come out here and do what we do. And it starts
Draymond,
with me
the good news is
bringing the force to the game and bringing the defense.
The good news is, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you're part of the media now, and you get to control the conversation from your perspective, and I know you'll
New
be...
media.
That's it. And Stephen A's part of it, as you said, right? So you can get your version of the evening's viewpoints out in just a moment. I just have one last thought. After being away from this stage as an organization for a brief moment and now being back on it, you're a win away. Maybe it comes in Boston if you get it. Maybe you have to get it back at home. How much fun is a night like this and knowing what you're heading into on Thursday night?
It's a lot of fun. You want to be on this stage. As a competitor, this is what you work for, to get to this stage and try to play your best, take home a championship. We're one win away, but it's going to be the toughest win yet, and we understand that. So we got to go in with our hard hats, expect everything, expect them to come out punching, and be ready to take that punch and respond. I think we did that tonight in the third quarter where they came out throwing blows. We settled in, we took the punch, and then we responded, so that was huge. And by the way, go watch the Draymond Green show. I said Stephen A. sometimes act like the new media. Sometimes he doesn't. That's on you, but, nonetheless, don't just lump me in with media, baby. It's the new media.
Understood. Hey, listen, it's a content-based world, and you're kind to share some of yours with me here on our show, and I know people will be checking you out a bit later. As always, your time's appreciated, Draymond. Thank you.
Thank you.